He's Drew Brees joining us on behalf of State Line, a grain-to-glass distillery straight from Wisconsin farms, promoting the back-to-back San Francisco World Spirit Competition. Double gold winner, State Line Coffee Liqueur. We say hello to Drew Brees.
All right, sweet. What's up, guys? How we doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. All right. I brought some for you for later.
All right.
You can sign that
there
for
you go.
DP.
Oh, wow. Got an autograph here. Ready to go.
Coffee for the morning and coffee liqueur for the draft later.
Right. To DP, don't get hammered. Drew Brees. All right, fair enough.
There you
go. When I say NFL draft, first thing that comes to mind is what?
Well, probably my own draft experience. It's become an even crazier time, I think, for these guys, just because there's so much hype leading into it, with the way that the media encircles it, and also the fact that we've dedicated now the first round to a kind of a primetime slot, and so everybody descends on a town like Green Bay, which I love the fact that we have a chance to come and highlight some of the great venues and meccas of football.
Were you invited to the draft?
I was. It was in New York, so this is 2001. I chose not to go, just wanted to stay in West Lafayette at Purdue. Had my wife, my brother, our dog, and we just fried up some fish and watched the draft. And it wasn't because, look, there was a lot of speculation, I think, for me. I hoped I would go in the first round. I think it was about 10 or 12 teams that I thought were strong possibilities, with the Miami Dolphins sitting at pick number 26, where I basically had gotten a guarantee from my head coach, Joe Tiller. He said, hey, one of my best friends is a scout for the Dolphins. If you're there at 26, they're taking you, right? So I kind of had that as like my stop, my stopgap. Like, hey, no matter what happens, hey, I got Jacksonville here, I got Kansas City, I got this, I got that. 26 comes, I just walked over to the phone, Dolphins are going to call. And they didn't call. They drafted Jamar Fletcher, Wisconsin, who picked me off about 3 times in college. So I was like, that's probably a good pick. And then obviously fell to the second round and was drafted by the San Diego Chargers, which was the greatest thing that could have happened to me, because I had a chance to go play with Doug Flutie, LaDainian Tomlinson, Lorenzo Neal, Junior Seau, Rodney Harrison, some of the greatest, in my opinion, ever play the game at their positions, and also get coached by Marty Schottenheimer.
But, okay, you probably played with a chip on your shoulder at Purdue, I'm guessing.
Oh, yeah.
Played with a chip on your shoulder in the NFL.
That's been a lifetime thing, man.
Do you still have a chip on your shoulder?
No, I mean, look, I'm more about proving the people who believe in you right, as opposed to proving the others wrong. At the end of the day, I've always felt like playing the quarterback position at 6 feet tall. Look, I don't know what it's like to play it at 6'5", right? So to hear all of that, I mean, look, I heard that coming out of high school. 6 foot, 170 pounds. You're not the prototype guy. We're not going to recruit you. But that's why Doug Flutie was such an inspiration to me and such a mentor for me. He was the starting quarterback when I got to the San Diego Chargers. And he's probably one of the biggest influences on my career.
And he made you feel tall.
Look, Flutie was Mahomes before Mahomes. Exactly. I was the tallest guy in the quarterback room in 2001.
Yeah.
It was Doug Flutie at 5'9". He'll tell you 5'10 and a half. He's full of it. It's 5'9". All right? And then Dave Dickinson, who was a CFL legend, came down, played a couple of years in the NFL, and now he's a head coach in the CFL still. So those are the 2 other guys in the room. Double D was 5'10 and a half, and then so I was 6 foot. So we were the 6 foot and under club. We were not real imposing, walking out, winning any pregame competitions, walking around the field. But man, I'll tell you what, Flutie could sling it.
He was ahead of his time. Could you imagine him playing now, where they would have encouraged him to be Doug Flutie at Boston College?
He'd be one of the most celebrated quarterbacks ever.
Yeah.
I mean, he was throwing back shoulders before everybody was throwing back shoulders. The guy would backpedal a 7-step drop from under center. When's the last time you saw that? Well, we don't take snaps under center anymore. What am I talking about? But no, he was well ahead of his time, and in my opinion, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time that will never get the credit he deserves.
But do you think we should go back to under center because it does give more deception and play action, and when you're in the gun, it just seems like we're taking away a little mystery that maybe you could incorporate or reincorporate?
You do. I think if you talk to running backs, the only way, first off, being under center gives you really a 2-way threat in the run game, right? Because the back is in what we call the home position. He's right behind the quarterback. So he can go right, he can go left, he can go inside, he can go outside. The minute you go in shotgun, what does the back do? Well, he has to offset one direction. A lot of times defenses set their front, set their defense based on where the back is aligned, because typically he's going to come across the quarterback in order to take the handoff, and then the QB will have some sort of RPO read. Hey, I'm reading the defensive end. If he crashes, I'm pulling it or I'm dishing it out here. So it tells the defense a lot about where the ball is going to be run. The only way to combat that is to put the back in pistol, which is directly behind you. Well, the back has a hard time seeing when he's directly behind the quarterback, right? So there's some problems there. And your passing game isn't as good, because the back involved in protection has a hard time getting around you to pick up a blitzing linebacker that might be his responsibility. So that's why, like, being under center, yes, it stresses the defense. Yes, it really helps with play action. Watch the reaction of linebackers when you go under center and all of a sudden you give some sort of a play fake. Man, they have to react to it, and you open up a lot of kind of the deeper intermediate stuff. So, like, I watch, last year the Pittsburgh Steelers with Russell Wilson. I think that's one of his great strengths. Go under center, and they want to run the ball, play great defense, play action, and then let Russ chuck it. And they were really successful doing that. Sean Payton likes doing that. You watch the evolution of the Broncos offense throughout the year with Bo Nix. I think Bo got more and more comfortable going under center. It helped the run game, it helped the play action, and therefore it helped their team.
Do you want to be a quarterback's coach?
I mean, I am anyway. I coach kids throughout the year. I mentor kids throughout the year.
But like in the NFL?
No.
How come?
Well, it's more so all the other things I could do. Look, because I can still get the same thing accomplished, but without, I'm just dedicated to one team. Yeah. I mean, I have the chance to mentor and coach a lot of guys.
We're talking to Drew Brees, the Hall of Famer. When you start to look at the draft, and then we tend to build you up, and then we tear you down. So Shador Sanders, he's going to be taken top 5 pick. And then all of a sudden, then he has a bad interview or holds onto the ball too long. Like, it's just kind of nitpicking, do you understand the whole philosophy of that we can't just say somebody is really good. It's really good, but because that's not good TV to just say, man, that guy's great, can't miss.
All you need is one guy to love you, or one team, or one coach, or one scout. Just in the history of sports, how often have we heard that, with certain guys? For whatever reason, all these other teams just didn't see it or didn't believe it, and yet there's that one person on that one team, that one coach on that one team, or that one scout who just stands up on the table for the guy, and it's like, I'm telling you, he's got something. We got to take him. And then the rest is history, and that's all Shador Sanders needs.
But if Shador wasn't Deion's son, like, does it help him or does it hurt him?
Well, look, I've never seen more hype. I've never seen more hype in an offseason than what kind of has encircled Shador Sanders and Travis Hunter, And so I think, obviously, a lot of that has come from, what Prime has brought to Colorado and kind of this process through the offseason for those guys. But also it's the way that they kind of build the lead up to the draft now. I mean, there's more coverage on this, and there's more talk on this. There's more analysis on this than there ever has been. And look, these guys are great players. And now it's just a matter of where they go.
Well, they're looking for a headline. I mean, we're in the entertainment business. What can we sell? What's controversial? Shador Sanders. Travis Hunter, the only controversy is he going to be a wide receiver? Is he going to be a defensive back? Can he be both? Well, do you think that he can be both in the NFL at the same time?
I mean, that's really difficult. Just the sheer number of snaps, the physicality of the game.
But would you want your wide receiver playing defensive back in the same game?
No.
Would you want your defensive back playing wide receiver?
The defensive coaches would say no. But I mean, I think probably the greater reality is, if obviously having an elite corner. I know just from my perspective, like, a lot of the times the thing that you would find as a weakness in a defense is, hey, there's that one DB, right, that I'm trying to attack. And in a lot of cases, man, you could be so sound at the other 10 positions, but the minute you've got the one guy that you found to pick on, that can make a huge difference in your success in the game. So if him playing defense helps fill one of those gaps or voids or weaknesses on a defense, man, that's where he's going to play. And then you supplement him on offense for specialty type stuff.
Yeah.
But look, I mean, I was amazed at what the guy did in college, playing 140, 50, 60 snaps a game. I mean, that's crazy, you know. And as a 20-year-old kid, it's doable. As a 25, 28, yeah, I mean, at some point, you know, hey, he's going to be relegated to one side of the ball with contributions potentially on the other side. I think the most realistic thing is, man, he either comes out and says, man, I'm just playing receiver, or he's going to play DB and then he's going to supplement a little bit on offense.
Yeah, but we're in the Shohei Ohtani world now. So now I get a two-way guy, marketing. People are going to come out and see him. He's the guy who can't miss in this draft, the unicorn with this. I never understand that there are going to be a couple of Hall of Famers in this draft, it feels like. But we'll take our chances on quarterbacks. So if you're Tennessee, would you take Travis Hunter because he can't miss? And he gives you that two-way, he gives you that Ohtani effect, or do you take a chance on Cam Ward?
Ask me 10 years from now. You know,
when you would go in the film session, would you guys go, that's the guy we're picking on Sunday?
Absolutely.
Like collectively. Okay. So
absolutely. Yeah.
And what was his name?
No, it's like we want to attack. I'll give an example, man. We were playing the Chargers 2020 on Monday Night Football, and man, we had been struggling throughout the game. Ironically, I tore my plantar fascia in my foot in pregame. This is the dumbest thing ever, right? So like all of a sudden I went from being able to move really well to not being able to move at all. I was just totally relegated to the pocket. So it was Monday Night Football 2020 at our place. We get down 17 points. We're kind of chipping our way back, but it's just one of these, like, we're slugging it out and we're not doing much on offense. And they just had a great defensive plan for us. Well, one of their elite corners went out like early fourth quarter, and they brought in their backup guy, and I'm like, dude, that's all we needed. I'm just going to sit here and throw it at this dude every single time. And sure enough, we did. We ended up going on 2 scoring drives. So we win the game in overtime. But literally, if that doesn't happen, we probably don't win the game. But it's just like there's a lot of these, you know, you're just kind of in real time what's happening in the game, and all of a sudden they lose a guy, or all of a sudden something happens that just changes the scheme or gives you a matchup that you like, and you exploit it.
You were watching, I think during the commercial break, my guys were playing pickleball. Do you want to break down what you saw with
First of all,
pickleball?
It's possibly the worst example of middle-aged athleticism that I've ever seen.
But you're saying possibly. You're not saying definitively.
No, not definitively. Okay. No, I'm sure there's worse. But it was no. It was.
Were they cheating? Was there cheating?
There was a lack of knowledge of the rules.
Okay.
On a few occasions.
Okay.
So the kitchen. Were you guys informed about the kitchen?
Heard of it.
Okay. Loosely. All right. Barbecue in the kitchen, good. Feet in the kitchen, taking a ball of the air, bad. Right.
And Todd is suffering from plantar fasciitis right now. He played through that. I mean, just saying, you played in an NFL game. He played pickleball.
Yeah, in the middle of the pickleball match. I stepped really hard on my left foot, chasing a ball while I was in the kitchen or the dining room.
Doesn't necessarily require a ton of mobility. I mean, let's just look at the demographic that plays a lot of pickleball. Like I've gotten my butt kicked by plenty of 75-year-olds out there that aren't moving real good, but they got some quick twitch.
The state line, how'd you get involved with this?
So they're a Madison, Wisconsin-based distillery, great friends of mine. They make incredible spirits. That's one of the absolute best. The coffee liqueur, double gold winner at the San Francisco World Spirits Competition 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
Double gold means blind taste test. 32 out of 32 judges said that was the best coffee liqueur in the world. So it's a fantastic product.
Okay. Well, it's good to see you. Last time I think it was Miami when you kind of just walked on.
I just popped in. I hope
it was great.
I hope that was all right.
No, it's always great.
You guys had some awesome barbecue backstage. We were reminiscing about that.
Yeah, Traeger barbecue there.
Where's the Where's?
Friday. We bring our Traegers Friday.
Oh, okay.
Meat Friday. Sorry.
I might have to stick around for that.
Yeah. or just walk by.
I picked the wrong day.
Do you have any good memories of Lambeau Field?
I do. We played here in 06. Second game of the year. So this is, the beginning of the Sean Payton era, not knowing what kind of a team we were going to have. Obviously, the coming back to, after post-Katrina year. So a magical season. We ended up going down 13 points to these guys in the first quarter, 3 turnovers. 2 of them were mine. Ended up coming back and beating them, in the fourth quarter. And so that was kind of a huge, I think, moral victory for us, just feeling like we, gaining momentum. And then the next game was the Monday Night Football game, returning to the Dome.
Yeah.
Steve Gleason blocked punt. So that was a big win for us. 2011, we came and played them here, and that was the Thursday Night Football game after they had won the Super Bowl. And that was a bit of a juggernaut contest. It was a shootout. I think Aaron and I both threw for 400 yards, and they beat us. But we had a goal line stand right at the end where we're gonna jump in and tie it. We handed it to Mark Ingram, and man, they just stop us right at the goal line. So we get beat, and then they finished 15-1 that year. We were 13-3, but I thought we were the 2 best teams in the league that year.
Yeah, I was here for that game. That was not a controversial ending, was it? It was just
no, not at all. Just a hard-fought game. We drove down with about 52 seconds left to try to tie it and send it to OT. But Aaron played lights out. I felt like we played pretty well, and it was just one of those heavyweight matches.
Best quarterback performance you ever witnessed?
Man. The first one that came to mind was I played against Peyton Manning and the Colts in 2004 in the game where Peyton broke Dan Marino's single-season touchdown mark. So he threw touchdown number 49 back when Dan had the record at 48. And we played, first off, we were heavy underdogs in this game. I was with the Chargers. We come play the Colts, and we play so lights out. And we're winning by 7 going into the final drive, and Peyton, this is the game where it gets to 4th down, and Peyton sends the punt team off the field the first time that happened.
Is this in overtime?
No, this isn't in overtime yet.
Okay.
But they beat us in overtime, 34-31. But I think we're winning 31-24. 2 minutes and something left. It's one of those questionable, like, do we punt it? But they're deep in their territory. Dungy sends the punt team out. He sends them back, and then rips a back shoulder to Reggie Wayne on our sideline. It was one of those, like, I saw it coming, and yet there's nothing you can do about it. Mainly because I'm a quarterback and I'm on the sideline. I'm not playing DB. But I knew it was coming. I was like, that's where I would have gone. Rips a back shoulder to Reggie Wayne. Boom, boom, methodical down the field. And then Brandon Stokely is in the slot over here. And we're in cover 2, so 2 high safeties. And he looks over here, and he gives this signal to this left side. And this is like the universal signal for smash. And a smash combination is hitch with a corner. But he was doing it so emphatically that I'm like, something's up here. He wants the safety to see smash, smash. So the safety overplays the corner, and Stokely runs up and gives it a nod, crosses the safety's face. Peyton hits him right in the chest. Touchdown, ties the game. Touchdown number 49. And then they get the ball in overtime, go right down the field, kick a field goal, and beat us. So just the whole send them off the field. I got this, coach. Back shoulder to Reggie Wayne. Smash, smash, psych, right? And then gets us to OT and beats us. I was like, Peyton Manning.
Checkmate. Great to see you. Good luck with State Line. It's a grain to glass distillery right here in Wisconsin, and back-to-back San Francisco World Spirit Competition. Double gold winner with the State Line Coffee Liqueur. He's Drew Brees. We'll come back with our play of the day after this.